Afternoon, everyone. My name is Jack Evericks. I work with Nike as a advisor. Today, we'll be presenting an analysis of Nike's global sourcing strategy with a focus on two critical challenges impacting our long-term performance. I'll walk through some of the key risks, followed by targeted solutions and some personal recommendations aimed at strengthening both operational efficiency and brand integrity. Um, Nike's sourcing strategy has always been a major driver for our success. By outsourcing our production, we have created a independent system with suppliers in low cost countries. The company has achieved significant cost savings in operational efficiency and flexibility. However, this has created a trade off. While it supports competitive pricing and scalability, it introduces ethical risks and supply chain complexities that must be actively managed to sustain the success. Um, the first major issue we're going to be getting into is labor and ethical concerns within our supply chain. Reports have highlighted serious violations, including wage theft and workers being paid below legal minimum wages, even in their respective countries. Despite the Nike's code of conduct and expectations for suppliers to follow local laws, enforcement has been inconsistent. Because we rely heavily on independent contractors across multiple countries, it has become difficult to maintain uniform standards. This exposes the company to reputable damage, loss of consumer trust, and potential regulatory risks. To address this, we should strengthen our labor compliance system by embedding enforceable wage standards directly into supplier contracts. This would include measurable accountability metrics such as wage benchmarks and compliance scoring systems. While Nike has already made progress in monitoring and compensation practices, these systems need to be rigorous and consistently enforceable across all suppliers. My recommendation is that Nike to implement greater transparency and independent oversight. This includes third-party audits and publicity disclosing supplier performances. By doing so, Nike can increase accountability, rebuild stakeholder trust, and ensure the labor and standards are consistently upheld across its global operations. The second issue we'll be getting into is the complexity of Nike's global supply chain. With operations spread out across numerous countries in the world and different suppliers, coordination between those become difficult. This leads to challenges in maintaining consistent product quality, responding quickly to market changes, and ensuring alignment across the supply chains. Additionally, there have been broader sustainability concerns, including slow adoption of more sustainable materials, which further highlight inefficiencies in the current model that we are using. To address this, Nike should move toward a more integrated supply chain. This means focusing on our long-term partnerships with fewer high-performing suppliers. By consolidating our supplier base, we can improve coordination, transparency, and gain better control over our quality and sustainability initiatives. Um, my recommendation for this problem is that we invest in supplier development programs that includes training, technology adaptation, and performance management systems. Strengthening our capabilities with suppliers will improve our responsiveness, enhance product quality, and create a more resilient and efficient supply chain. Taken together, these recommendations should align Nike's operational strategy with its ethical responsibilities. By improving labor standards and streamlining the supply chain, we can protect our brand reputation while also increasing efficiency and long term competitiveness. Um, this approach ensures that sustainability and profitability are not competing priorities but complementary ones. I think that with all these problems that are occurring, Nike should still be able to stand atop of the market in our respective fields and continue to work towards improving our standards for all of our employees.